So the adventures of Toto. So have you ever had a monkey, baby monkey as a pet? I guess the answer would be no from your side. Toto is a baby monkey. Let's find out whether he is mischievous or docile. So let's see whether he is very mischievous or submissive and a decent fellow. Grandfather bought Toto from a Tonga driver for the sum of 5 rupees. The Tonga driver used to keep the little red monkey tied to a feeding trough, and the monkeys looked so out of place there that the grandfather decided that he would add the little fellow to his private zoo. So, grandfather, the one who was very fond of pets, he had already got a pet. He had already got a private zoo in his own home. So many other animals were also kept there. So this time he purchased a monkey from a Tonga driver at for a sum of rupees 5. And first he kept the monkey out, and it used to be fed in that feeding trough. But later on he realized that it doesn't look nice to keep the pet outside, so he also brought him inside and added him to the other animals in the private zoo. Toto was a pretty monkey. His bright eyes sparkled with mischief beneath deep set eyebrows, and his teeth, which were a pearly white, were very often displayed in a smile that frightened the life out of elderly Anglo Indian ladies. So, this was his appearance. He had bright eyes, okay, deep set eyebrows, and even bright teeth, which were a pearly white. So he would always give the smile. He would like even frighten the Anglo-Indian women out of their breath. But his hands looked dried up as though they had been pickled in the sun for many years. So his hands were a bit scary. They were like his hands were dried up as if they had been uh, kept in the sun for many years, as if they had been roasted in the sun for many years. Yet his fingers were quick and wicked. So his fingers were quick and wicked means whatever the naughty thing or mischief he would do with his fingers only. And his tail, while adding to his good looks. Grandfather believed a tail would add to anyone's good looks. Also served as a third hand. So his tail served as a third hand. It was capable of scooping up any delicacy that might be out of reach of his hands. So if he could not get something with his hands, he would use his tail. Grandmother always fussed when grandfather brought home some new bird or animal. It was decided that Toto's presence should be kept a secret from her until she was in a particularly good mood. So grandfather and I put him away in a little closet opening into my bedroom wall, where he was tied securely, or so we thought, to a peg fastened into the wall. So grandmother, she was never ever happy whenever grandfather he brought some new pet or animal. So this time, both narrator and grandfather decided like they would be keeping this monkey as a secret, and they would tell about this Toto to grandmother only when she would be in a good mood. So they kept her in a closet and tied her with a rope. Few hours later, when grandfather and I came back to release Toto, we found that the walls, which had been covered with some ornamental paper chosen by grandfather, now stood out as naked brick and plaster. So after some time, when both grandfather and narrator came back, they found that that the Toto monkey, uh, that it had been the wall to which it had been tied up earlier, that wall might have got some ornamental paper, the wallpaper you may say, it might have had some wallpaper, and in the absence of narrator and grandmother father, the monkey, it had taken off that wallpaper, and now the wall was looking naked with brick and plaster. The peg in the wall had been wrenched from its socket, and my school blazer, which had been hanging there, was in shreds. So it had not only uh, you can say, made the wall look uglier, he had also torn off narrator's school blazer. I wondered what grandmother would say, but grandfather didn't worry. He seemed pleased with Toto's performance. So why was the grandfather happy with Toto's performance? Because he said like because the monkey wanted to be released, he wanted to be free, so he had done all these things. So it was a smartness. He's clever, said grandfather. Given time, I'm sure he could have tied the torn pieces of your blazer into a rope and made his escape from the windows. So grandfather was so much impressed by Toto's presence of mind that he said, like, if he would be given some time, then the same Toto can turn your the pieces of your blazer into a rope, and uh, will escape from the window. Wow. His presence in the house still a secret. Toto was now transferred to a big cage in the servants' quarters where a number of grandfather's pets lived very sociably together. A tortoise, a pair of rabbits, a tame squirrel, and for a while my pet goat. So now the even now his presence was a secret. So now the same Toto was shifted to the servants' quarter where many other animals also lived as pets. But they all lived very, lovingly. They all lived sociably together. But the monkey wouldn't allow any of his companions to sleep at night. So grandfather, who had to leave Dehradun next day to collect his pension in Saharanpur, decided to take him along. So this monkey, this Toto, was so mischievous that he would not let any of those pets sleep at night. He would keep on disturbing them even at night. So grandfather, who had to leave for Saharanpur next day, decided to take Toto also with him, because in his absence, Toto would cause big disturbance in the house, and he might be a source of big nuisance in the house. So grandfather didn't want this, so he decided that he would take Toto with him to Saharanpur. So why was he going to Saharanpur? To collect his pension, right? Unfortunately, I could not accompany grandfather on that trip, but he told me about it afterwards. A big black canvas kit bag was provided for Toto. This, with some straw at the bottom, became his new abode. Abode is residence. A big black canvas kit was brought for him. So he was kept in that big black canvas kit. So this, with some straw at the bottom, became his new abode. Abode is his home. So this very kit, this canvas kit bag, it was like some straw, some dry grass was kept at its bottom, and this very bag became his home later on. So there was when the bag was closed, there was no escape. Toto could not get his hands through the opening, and the canvas was too strong for him to bite his way through. So his efforts to get out only had the effect of making the ball roll about on the floor or occasionally jump into the air, an exhibition that attracted a curious crowd of onlookers on the Dehradun railway platform. So this very bag was like sturdy and strong enough to let this monkey get out of that bag, but whenever he would be inside, that bag would just roll a bit on the floor. So that's why on the platform, on the railway station platform, there were many people, those who got attracted towards this bag, because this bag would roll because of the Toto inside. Toto remained in the bag as far as Saharanpur, but while grandfather was producing his ticket at the railway turnstile, Toto suddenly poked his head out of the bag and gave the ticket collector a wide grin. So everything was fine till the Saharanpur was there. But when grandfather was giving his ticket, showing his ticket to the ticket collector, that very minute, this Toto, he came out of that bag, he showed his head out, and he gave that collector a grin. He smiled at him. The poor man was taken aback. The ticket collector was surprised. He was shocked. But with great presence of mind and much to grandfather's annoyance, he said, "Sir, you have a dog with you. You'll have to pay for it accordingly." So he called this Toto as dog. He said, "Sir, you have a dog with you. So you'll have to pay for it." In vain means waste, wastefulness, no use. So in vain did grandfather take Toto out of the bag. In vain did he try to prove that the monkey did not qualify as a dog or even as a quadruped. Toto was classified a dog by the ticket collector, and 3 rupees was a sum handed over as a sphere. So grandfather tried to prove that it was not a dog. Grandfather tried to prove that it was not even a four-legged creature. So it would no fare should be taken from monkey. But the ticket collector did not agree. He said like no, because it's an animal, it's like a dog, so you'll have to pay for it. So finally the grandfather had to pay 3 rupees as a fare for Toto. In vain, then grandfather, just to get his own back, took from him took from his pocket our pet tortoise and said, "What must I pay for this, since you charge for all animals?" So finally grandfather wanted to prove that he was also right. So he took out the tortoise from his pocket and asked the grand ticket collector, like, will you have a ticket for this tortoise also, because you consider all pets as animals? The ticket collector looked closely at the tortoise, prodded it with his forefinger, gave grandfather a pleased and triumphant look, and said, "No charge, it's not a dog." So, when Toto was finally accepted by grandfather, he was given a comfortable home in the stable where he had for a companion the family donkey Nana. So finally, this Toto was finally accepted by grandmother. So it was given a comfortable home in the stable where he had his companion, a donkey, which was kept, named as Nana. On Toto's first night in the stable, grandfather paid him a visit to see if he was comfortable. To his surprise, he found Nana, without apparent cause, pulling at her halter and trying to keep her head as far as possible from a bundle of hay. So grandfather went there to see if everything was fine, if Toto was comfortable. But to his surprise, he found Nana, without apparent cause, pulling at her halter and trying to keep her head as far as possible from a bundle of hay. So when he went over there, he found that Nana was trying to keep her head away from the bundle of hay. Without any reason, it was like trying to be away from the bundle of grass, you can say. Grandfather gave Nana a slap across her haunches and she jerked back, dragging Toto with her. He had fastened onto her long ears with his sharp little teeth. So what had happened? Toto had already, Toto had fastened onto her long ears with his sharp little teeth. So Toto had tried to hurt her on her long ears with his teeth. A great treat for Toto during cold winter evenings was a large ball of warm water given by grandfather for his bath. So now we are going to read about the bathing incidents of Toto. So he would really have great fun while having a bath in winters with warm water. So grandmother, she would give him a large ball of warm water for bath. He would cunningly test the temperature with his hand. Then he would step into the bath. First one foot, then the other, as he had seen me doing, until he was into the water up to his neck. So this is how he would take bath. Once comfortable, he would take the soap in his hands or feet and rub himself all over. When the water became cold, he would get out and run as quickly as he could to the kitchen fire in order to dry himself. So he would rub soap on his hands and feet, and then then when the water would become cold, he would come out of it, and then he would go to the kitchen fire to warm himself or to dry himself up. If anyone laughed at him during this performance, Toto's feelings would be hurt, and he would refuse to go out with his bath and he would refuse to go on with his bath. One day, Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself alive. So, children, here it was like how he used to take bath in the winters, but one day um, he nearly boiled himself alive. How it happened? A large kitchen kettle had been left on the fire to boil for tea, and Toto, finding himself with nothing better to do, decided to remove the lid. Finding the water just warm enough for a bath, he got in with his head sticking out from the open kettle. This was just fine for a while until the water began to boil. Toto then raised himself a little, but finding it cold outside, sat down again. He continued hopping up and down for some time until grandmother arrived and hauled him half boiled out of the kettle. So this kettle incident was like when one day grandmother had kept a kettle of boil of a kettle on stove, and water was boiling of course in it. So he jumped into the kettle to take bath. So initially the water was not very hot, so he kept on, he kept on having some fun. But afterwards, when the water started boiling at 100 degrees Celsius, then it was difficult for him to like sustain himself there. So he wanted to come out, but he could not. But meanwhile, luckily grandmother came and saved him. If there is a part of the brain specially devoted to mischief, that part was largely developed in Toto. So if you say like if somebody had good power to of mischief, then Toto had that. He was actually very mischievous. He was always tearing things to pieces. Whenever one of my aunts came near him, he made every effort to get hold of her dress and tear a hole in it. So he was very mischievous. Whenever some lady would come to their house, he would definitely do some hole in that lady's dress. So children, time is almost over, but I want like we should finish off two more paragraphs are there. One day at lunchtime, a large dish of pulao stood in the center of the dining table. We entered the room to find Toto stuffing himself with rice. My grandmother screamed, and Toto threw a plate at her. One day, a plate of pulao rice was kept on table. He came and started eating up. So when grandmother showed her annoyance at him, then he just threw that plate on her. So my grandmother screamed, and Toto threw a plate at her. One of my aunts rushed forward and received a glass of water in the face. So another time, the aunt was, how she was welcomed. He threw a glass of water in her face. When grandfather arrived, Toto picked up the dish of pulao and made his exit through a window. We found him in the branches of the jackfruit tree, the dish still in his arms. So he remained there all afternoon, eating slowly through the rice, determined on finishing every grain. And then, in order to spite grandmother, who had screamed at him, he threw the dish down from the tree and chattered with delight when it broke into 100 pieces. So when he would go off to the branch of the tree to enjoy the last grain of rice, so finally he would throw the plate at grandmother because she had screamed at him. So obviously Toto was not the sort of pet we could keep for long. Even grandfather realized that. We were not well to do and could not afford the frequent loss of dishes, clothes, curtains, and wallpaper. So grandfather found the Tonga driver and sold him back to him for only 3 rupees. Right? So thank you, children. The lesson is also over, and you people go through its questions, and only 5 questions are there. Your fair notebook, right? You can leave now. Thank you very much.